Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. There's a quiet ache that settles in when life feels uncertain. For many, that ache is strongest in the hours when doubt is louder than hope, when the familiar logic that once tethered us no longer holds. Trust with all your heart. The words invite a surrender deeper than calculation or planning. They call for release when our own reasoning runs dry. Every day, people try to make sense of tangled relationships, shrinking bank accounts, or anxious decisions. Yet, there is a letting go hinted here. A radical kind of trust that asks us to hand over the steering wheel, even in fog and rain. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. Fear rarely knocks politely. It lingers at the edges of our resolve. Sometimes it storms straight through, disrupting sleep and stirring old insecurities. The words from Psalm 56 feel like a whispered prayer in those moments, a reflex, humble and honest. Trust isn't always built in daylight and certainty, but in the darkness where fears gather close. Someone who has lost their job or sits beside a hospital bed learns the shape of fear intimately. For them, trust becomes a fragile shelter, one spoken cry at a time. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this. There's a certain fatigue that comes from endless striving. The pressure to hold every plan together, to force outcomes, to protect ourselves from disappointment. This verse, in its simplicity, opens a quieter path. Committing your way is not passive. It's an intentional act, a release of control that is both brave and vulnerable. The burden lifts slightly even if the road ahead is not yet visible. In the background, an ancient promise hums. Trust, and your steps are not taken alone. Trust in the Lord forever. For the Lord Himself, is the rock eternal. Imagine a world where everything you once counted on starts to shift. Jobs come and go, people change, circumstances fold. The prophet's words offer the image of an unyielding rock. In ancient times, a rock wasn't just a symbol for safety. It was shelter, stability, a refuge from storms. Across generations, many have returned to this same promise. When everything else feels temporary, trust is anchored. Not because life is free from turbulence, but because there is something unmovable beneath the surface. The Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in Him. Trouble has a way of making the world shrink. Suddenly, hope feels far off and isolation closes in. Here, in the words of Nahum, is a picture of closeness so often craved and rarely found. A safe place, a caring presence, a goodness that does not abandon. There are days when trouble comes fast, a diagnosis, an unexpected bill, a shattered friendship. And yet, this assurance remains. You are not unseen. You are not left alone in the storm. Trust, layered through the ancient stories and songs, is not blind faith. It is a lived, daily risk. For the anxious parent, the lonely soul, the burned-out worker, the invitation stands. Let go, even when understanding slips away. Lean into a strength that does not change. Underneath every fear and every hard decision, a quiet offer remains. You are held. Amen.